Tony Evers also making a stop in Appleton today as part of a statewide pothole patrol. This initiative is an effort to not only repair potholes, but also discuss his plans to build more bridges and highways across Wisconsin through 2025. According to the governor's office, he's improved more than 5,800 miles of road and nearly 1,600 bridges since 2019.
Infrastructure is something that, whether it's broadband, whether it's fixing our roads and fixing our potholes, it is important to keep that going because our entire society relies on infrastructure, whether it's driving, whether it's flying.
The governor was joined by officials from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Governor Evers also visited Kenosha before landing.